clients, colleagues like to join later. Hello, everybody. This is session 8 of the long-term training course, the Chance to Update, dedicated to the youth work, Erasmus Plus, training skills for youth trainers, for youth workers, for youth facilitators. And today our topic is project management advanced, actually. Some specific tools I will tell you in a few seconds. First of all, dear friends, I really appreciate for all those troubles. Of course, it's not like my mistake. Like, first of all, I created in advance this YouTube broadcast and I put the link. And when I tried to just join this YouTube broadcast, I discovered that joining and starting and cannot finally start. So first link I posted previously was like I couldn't use this link, unfortunately. After that, I created in a really fast way one more broadcast in YouTube, and you saw the second link, and when we joined, there were no sound from my side at all. And only after that I reloaded. Sorry very much for this pause. But yeah, after reloading, I finally was able to create this Google meeting, and yeah, it were some problems at the beginning, but it was resolved finally. That is why I like Google Meet. But yeah, how are you? What do you feel? What do you think about our previous sessions, guys? Remember that you are welcome to unmute yourself and speak up anything you wish while we are here in Google Hangout, or you are welcome to again type in chat. So please give me some feedback from your side. What do you feel? How are you? Do you have any questions right now to the topic of today's session and to the content of today's session? What would you like to ask? What would you like to request? Please kindly let me know right now. I'm deleting all wrong links again from Facebook. In a few seconds I will delete it. Yeah, delete post. Delete. Delete post. Yeah, funny. Adventures. Good. So, what do we have? Questions? Feedback? Okay, I don't see anything in the chat from you. Yes, I see something from Maria. Yes, it was very informative. Thank you very much, Maria. It was very informative last session, said Maria. And now, guys, could you please remind me which acronyms are we, or just names of tools we are going to tell today? Okay, Labelus, give me a sec. I will announce it in a few seconds. Yep. Or maybe people will help us. I planned 3 tools for today. Could you please remind me in a chat what are the names of the tools I propose us to discuss today? 3 very useful tools for project management and for you, very useful for you as project managers of your future projects. Project model canvas, IRCA, RACI metrics, and SWOT analysis. Sorry, SWOT, I put SW80, but yeah, actually it is SWOT. Yep, you're right. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, those 3 tools. Each tool can be explained in, I suppose, half an hour or something like that. So possibly today's session will be a bit shorter, but it depends on you guys and of course on our time limit. So if you have more questions, we will stay longer and discuss everything. And each of those tools can be used for your project management documentation and just for your project management implementation. What does it mean? You can use it for your project application to explain your sponsor your vision of the project, to ensure your sponsor even more that you understand how you are going to implement your project, how you're going to realize the project, how you're going to use the money of your sponsor. So your sponsor will be more desired, more agree to give you his money for your project. So those tools can be used to enrich your project application before you show your project application to a sponsor. But not only. The best thing of all those 3 tools, SWOT or SWOT analysis, IRCA matrix or RACI, RACI also some people say, RACI matrix. Yeah? So, and Gantt diagram or Gantt chart, the usage of all those tools allows you to control the situation better. So all those tools are really useful for you as a project manager. Yeah? We have kind of whiteboard. I hope you can see anything on this whiteboard. Yep, we have Magdalena joining us in a second. Hello, Magdalena. Good. And yeah, business model canvas, not exactly business, but project model canvas will also be explored today. So let's start possibly from what to start. Yes, not 3, 4, sorry, 4 tools, Gantt diagram also. So I don't know what to choose. Okay, I don't know what to choose. Let's start with Gantt diagram. Yeah, Gantt diagram. There are 14 people here together with me. Could you please put again sign plus into the chat if you understand how the Gantt chart or Gantt diagram works. But right now I'm going to put the name. Gantt chart. Let me know if you can see anything on this whiteboard. Yes, you can you read it? If I write it this size? No, you cannot. Okay, Maria, I will do my best to like put it bigger, so even bigger. Good. Let's imagine there is your project. Some people can see. Thank you very much, Libel. So yeah, I will try to make it bigger to make it more visible. Imagine that you have a project. For example, the project to, okay, it was example of planting. Okay, let's making the eggs. Yeah. Cooking the eggs in the morning. Main activities that we do. We, let's say, prepare the eggs, the resources. We operate with the resources. I mean, we put those eggs onto the plate. We wait till eggs becomes ready, like cooked, and possibly we move the eggs from the plate, from the plate to the dish. So we have 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Please make sure you can see those numbers. Maria, please let me know if you can see those numbers. So, preparation of the resources. Second, operation. Third, while cooking those eggs, we always need to, yes, you can see now, thank you very much, Maria. We always need to check the quality so that good, like, quality assurance. So the eggs are cooking, but we need to check how good are they? Are they like, still so well to like, already boiled? And finally, presentation. So we move the eggs from the plate to the dish and present it to the customer. Yeah. So, and you see what's interesting in this project that we have no possibility to present eggs to the customer before we move those eggs to the those eggs to the dish before they are they created. I mean, before they're ready. We cannot start cooking it before we put the eggs onto the plate on the fire, and we cannot put the eggs onto the fire before we like took the eggs from the fridge and bring it to the table and bring the plate on the fire and so on. So all those processes should be done in specific sequence. This one, first, please let me know from your experience how long it takes to you guys all the process of preparation of resources for morning eggs cooking. I mean, how long time? From the moment when you just stay in an empty kitchen, you know that there are eggs in a fridge. You know there is knife to like pile the eggs in a somewhere in a table or on a table. You know there is a plate somewhere in a shelf on a shelf, and you need to prepare. So like to put everything near the fire, and fire should be already switched on. How long it takes to you to bring all the stuff and to prepare? Please put your answers. Do you understand the task? 2 minutes. Thank you, Aura. For me, actually, approximately the same. So let's put 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is the duration of the first phase of your project, guys. After that, we're starting the second phase of our project, the operation. What does it mean, operation? We take the knife, for example, we take the egg, we cut the shell of the egg, and we put the egg content, like the eggs itself, onto the plate that is already on the fire. Or maybe not, maybe we also put the plate onto the fire, and after that we take the egg, crush it, and put the egg onto the plate. How long does it take? Jake, to turn off your microphone, please move your mouse cursor to the down. You will see this kind of white tools bar. On this toolbar in the middle, there should be 3 round buttons. Left button, possibly this side, yeah? Maybe I don't know which side, on your side, on your screen. So left button somewhere like below my fingers with a symbol of microphone used to switch it off. Just press this button, it became red, and microphone became crossed, so your microphone is turned off. Please try, Jake, and let me know if you can do that. But we're coming back, so let me know how long does it take to you to operate with the plate, put it on fire, cut the egg, and put the eggs onto the plate. I mean, to start cooking. 1 minute, Aura. Thank you very much. So yeah, let's imagine that we start our second phase of the project right after the end of previous phase, and it takes us 1 minute to complete. After that, we can start the third phase of project, when we just stay, we're hungry, we're starving. Imagine, yes, we are like, or maybe we're sleepy, we didn't drink our morning coffee, I don't know, yeah, it's up to you guys, yeah? We're looking at those eggs while they're just cooking, the process of cooking is ongoing. And we, from time to time, we're possibly checking how good are eggs, how long does it take to you to cook actually the egg. So from the moment when you finished putting the eggs onto the plate till the moment that, yeah, it's time to put it on the dish. 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Great. So we have next phase of the project that starts exactly after previous one. 3 to 5 minutes. And one more thing, please. I'm really sorry, Aura. Yes, but the example is so great. Okay, we have another answers like 2-3 minutes, like 2 minutes. Okay, maybe 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5 minutes. Okay, so it depends. One more interesting thing, you can salt your eggs. When is the best time to salt your eggs? What do you think? During which, okay, stop. Sorry, let's hold on. QA means quality assurance, when we just look at the eggs that are cooking, and we check how good, how ready are the eggs. So quality assurance, QA, yeah? So it's kind of to make it more beautiful, instead of just putting here, looking at the eggs, I decided to put it more beautiful, the acronym, quality assurance. OP, preparation of resources, operation of eggs, when we cut the eggs and like put it onto the plate. Oh, before we put the plate onto the fire, and we cut eggs and put the content of eggs onto the plate. Then quality assurance during the eggs cooking, and finally presentation. Final presentation of the result to the kind of customer, maybe ourselves. Yep. Thank you very much, Barbara, for your questions. Good. Thank you, Jake, for switching off your microphone. Yeah, and finally, we have the preparation phase, and let's make it faster. It can take, let's say, less than 1 minute for final phase. Yeah. So we have 4 stages of project. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I already tell you already spoiled this idea, when you started eating, you understood that the project was made awfully. The result of the project wasn't complete, wasn't fulfilled because the eggs are just not tasty. Yeah, because there is no salt in these eggs. And next day we start a new project, approximately the same, the eggs preparation, eggs cooking, with the same resources, with the same product, but we add one more typical activity within this project. And the activity is putting salt into the eggs. And please give me your answers, guys. Where is the best time? Where, I mean, imagine let's make it complicated. We have a deadline, maximum deadline. 2 minutes plus 1 minute, 3, plus let's say 3 minutes, 6 plus 1, 7. We have just 7 minutes. We have no specific additional time to spend it for putting salt onto the eggs. Please let me know which operation 1, 2, 3, or 4 is the best operation to provide at the same time simultaneously the operation, one more activity of putting salt onto the eggs. Give me your answers into the chat, please. Stage 4, quality assurance, stage 3, good. 5 half minute with spices, yeah, okay, it's possibly really short, but you see, we have no half minute. We have just 7 minutes for everything, and here we need to spend at least 2 minutes, 1 minute, at least 3 minutes, at least 1 minute, so 7 minutes in Zoom. We have no additional time, to create one more, activity between. No, there is no way. Imagine there is no way. Just the deadline is too tough, tight. The deadline is too tight for us. Operation 3, and I agree. Let's a little bit modify our project, and we add one more operation 3.1, salting, and we provide this operation simultaneously with the operation of quality assurance, together with the operation of actually cooking the eggs. Good. That's it, but not finally. There is one more thing, guys. One more thing. Imagine that there is a big group of us. There is me, who is a project manager. There is, for example, I will again try to tell your name, but please correct me if it is too horrible. Siolazzo Emanuela. Yes, there is Siolazzo Emanuela, who is really great in salting. So there's a person who's really expert in salting, putting salt onto the eggs. Yeah, Siolazzo Emanuela. And I suppose, sorry, I don't really know, are you male or female? So I'm just guessing that you're female. Please let me know. Emma. Good, Emma. Thank you very much. So Emma, much easier. Yeah, Emma, let me please know. You're female. Yeah, is it correct, or maybe anything else? I don't know, so I don't want to offend anybody. But please let me know, and I continue. Emma is the greatest world expert in putting salt onto the eggs. So this is Emma who will provide the salting operation. Good. And imagine that there is Erin Reddy, who is the greatest world expert in cutting eggs and operation, actually, in this phase. Who is the best expert to put the plate onto the fire, cut the eggs, and put the content of eggs onto the plate, on the hot plate. Good. So each operation will be done by specific person. And on this Gantt diagram, usually there is additional level. Sorry, I wasn't wise enough, I didn't leave enough space on the top, so I will use the space on the bottom. So this operation, oh yes, and one more thing. Let's say Jake Doe, yes? The Jake Doe is the greatest expert in bringing resources. So he's kind of magic in logistics. He knows where, which eggs, when to bring exactly in time. He knows everything about the traffic jams. So he starts bringing the eggs to us, to our place, exactly at specific time to have eggs at the moment when we wake up to start doing everything. So, okay, maybe Jake, maybe in general yes, but for this project, sorry, you are a responsible person already. Have no choice. So now you're like great in logistics. So let's play the role of person who is great in logistics. So we distribute all the tasks between people, and we know that every specific activity are performed by a specific person. So, Jake, operation, who was the god of operation? Erin, yes, Erin is her. Erin, Jake, Erin. Then, two tasks simultaneously, the quality assurance. Who is the best person to check the taste of eggs? Please let me know in a chat if you like understand when the cooked eggs, not cooked, how to say, fried, yeah, when the fried eggs are really good. So who of you will be our expert in third, in activity number 3? Libolas, great, thank you very much. Yeah, so this is you and somebody who is the greatest expert in salting. So Emma, as far as I remember, Emma is a great world expert in salting and putting salt. And finally, presentation, like we have kind of a great presenter, let's say Aura, yes? Aura is our greatest presenter, the one who just takes this hot plate with fried eggs and just put the eggs onto the dish and present to any kind of customer, maybe ourselves, maybe there's a big fish, big dish and we eat all together, I don't know, yeah? Just an example. So we have here the list of all possible activities of the project. We have the duration of each activity, so we have a full timetable. And we have the responsible people who will be responsible for like, fulfilling. And yeah, one more thing, we can put all those responsible people here. This is even better. So we have Jake, Emma, Erin, Libolas, just Libolas, yeah, Libolas. Here we have Emma, and here we have Aura. So for each operation, we have the person who is responsible for fulfilling this operation. We have time, we have consequence, and that's it. Do you want me to make this picture even more complicated? Colin, oh, sorry. Please, Colin, so yeah, Colin, like, sometimes for me it's complicated to understand where is the name and surname. Please forgive me. I just like seeing something that's written on the first position and like guessing that I can try to call it this name. To call it this way. Yeah. So yeah, to make it even more complicated, the task is we need to do one more activity to inform our client that the eggs will be ready in 3 minutes. Let me know when should we provide this activity and who will provide it. Choose the responsible person, please put into the chat your answer. Who is the responsible person for informing the client about the eggs readiness, and inform the client exactly 3 minutes before eggs are ready, when they're like hot, when they're perfect, not cold yet. Kind of, yeah, public relations, yeah. So who of us, please check the list of participants, choose the like responsible person, let me know, and most even important thing, when exactly, at which position we should point this activity, specific and very important activity. Okay, Colin? Good, but Colin already do something, guys. Colin already, if you mean Labolos, Colin, yeah? Maybe we can find somebody else in our list of participants. I mean, if we delegate 2 tasks to one person, that person might be overburdened. Overloaded. Sorry, yes, still not about professional burnout. Overloaded. So also, thanks to this Gantt diagram, Gantt chart, we can recognize which person is like more have more workload, which person less, which person has enough free time to like take some other tasks, and so on. I thought of her because she's checking the quality. Okay, yes, I see. But at the same time, you see, checking the quality is activity. And think again, this should be done exactly 3 minutes before the moment of ready X. So 1 minute, 2, 3 minutes. So approximately here in the timeline, this activity should be complete. So the person who completes this activity should be possibly the person who have no task. So not the person who who fulfills this task, and not the person who fulfills this task. So Colin and Emma cannot, they're already busy. Emma also possibly at that time, busy, like what is she doing? She's salting. If she will like make her call and at the same time salt, she can like make a mistake. Yeah, it can bring some problems. So we can fuck up the project. There's typical term, yes, to fuck up. Barbara, yes. Let's choose, for example, Barbara. Yeah, Barbara. I don't know. Again, and possibly you already told me. Sorry, I sometimes forget. So we have one more task, Barbara, to complete. When exactly? Sorry, not here, but here, Barbara. And yeah, we will possibly put this task here. And we have one more line, Barbara, to call the client and like invite the client to like join us right in three minutes. Well, that's overall it. Please give me kind of feedback from your side, some reflection about this tool, the Gantt chart. How do you feel it? Do you think your projects are complicated enough to have this Gantt chart, active Gantt chart for your project? Please let me know if you think that in your project you don't need it and why. And please let me know if you think that in your project you need it and why. Let me please. So it is kind of retro-planning, right? Technically, it should be. It's not retro, if I understood your question correctly. It should be this Gantt chart should be planned in advance. So during planning, like you predicting, you anticipating what and how and in which consequence you are going to do, which tasks can be made at the same time. So this Gantt chart helps you to understand which specific tasks can be fulfilled simultaneously at the same time, so you can make your project shorter. You also can check which people are free at specific time frame, so you can delegate some additional tasks to those people. So, Elsa, it's interesting. My experience is that sometimes people end up mixing tasks in the moment because someone fails to do something, for example. Yes, great point. Thank you very much. Elsa, thank you very much. So if, for example, there is any kind of mistake in resource preparation, any kind of error of expert, mistake of person, or any kind of another technical error, this specific phase can be fucked up, can be like postponed, the end of this phase. In that case, all the rest of the chart should be moved forward. And we see that the deadline should be moved. If we have strict deadline, for example, here we should finish deadline. If we need to finish at that point, if we have one fail here, all the project failed. Absolutely. Unfortunately. So we can be a little bit wider, and just in the case, if we have enough time, in general, enough time for your guys' project, we can provide some specific time frames. For example, we can decide that this is 1 minute, and here we have just like specific check time, or call it whatever you call it. So specific time, like to bug fixing. Yes, if you have any problems, we correct those problems. We fix any bugs. We fix any mistakes, so we can start next phase easily, right in time. Thank you very much for this comment. Next, I think we use it in some kind of form. Yes, it is pretty popular and well-known technique, absolutely, Aura. You need it all types for project. It allows stakeholders to know where they stand. Agree. I mean, not all stakeholders required, but for big projects, so I don't know, let's say starting from 5,000 euros, usually this part already really required. So for smaller projects, very cheap project, for sponsors, it's okay. Like, okay, when it's clear, go on. Just a little bit of money. It's pretty good tool to use for organizing, especially in a big group of organizers. Yes, thank you. You're right, Barbara. It has to do with smart topics, actions, work package, activities. Jake, what do you mean? I'm not fully understand your phrase. Like it has to do with smart topics, actions, work plan, activities. I mean, I think I understand, but I'm not sure I understand you correctly. So I would be really happy if you can like tell more about your idea. Emanuela, I think it's very useful, especially for deciding tasks and the right people to do it. Absolutely, Barbara. It also allows us to plan well and not to forget anything that needs to be done for a successful event. Also, it is a timeline for tasks and help us to organize ourselves and the work. Yes, agree. Have to make tasks really clear for everybody. Planning ahead. Yes, correct. So guys, you're welcome to like think about questions, think about proposals and possible not so clear things regarding this task to ask right now. And I will show you one more important stuff. Yeah. Let's say something. Imagine that. No, something is a bad example. Let me think. Yeah, operation again. Operation, yes. So again about the second phase. Imagine that this operational phase, I mean the phase when we just take the plate, put it under the fire, take the egg, cut the egg and put the content of this egg from the shell onto the plate. Imagine that all this operational phase should be done by specific specialist. Nobody except this specialist can do that, so absolutely nobody, because it is too complicated. Because those eggs are eggs of Strausses, and like there is a specific very sharp axe that should be used to cut this egg, and we shouldn't use even 1 single gram of the content of the second. Some other, you can imagine, some other difficulties, some other limitations, specification, and so on, like requirements for us. So we can prepare resources faster or longer. We can like fry those eggs a bit longer and put salt a bit shorter and so on. We can make final presentation faster or shorter, but we never can make this specific task shorter. And let's imagine, just imagine that this task is long. Maybe it is not operated, so don't think about specific example I prepared you. Some specific task that is pretty complicated. There is only one person who can fulfill this task, and this task is really important for all the project. So I mean, all previous phases are just preparation for this very important phase, and all other phases are just like continuation, so not so important. Very important can be done by one person and cannot be done in shorter time. Absolutely. In that case, ta-da! We have the bottleneck. Do you understand what does it mean, the bottleneck? Please let me know if you understand. The bottleneck. All our projects will be as successful as this bottleneck task. I'm showing with my fingers. This bottleneck task is successful. If the person who fulfills this bottleneck task get the coronavirus, I mean, let's say, easy phase of coronavirus, but should spend all the time at home, without hospital, but without social contacts at all, so the current time. In that case, sorry, Barbara, yes, not specific person, not one of us, just one more person, yes, so in that case, we have all the project failed. This is the bottleneck. I mean, we can move the project as successful as this bottleneck task is successful. What should we do as project managers? Your ideas. This is like task. And guys who are watching this video, like in the recording, please also take a pause, think, and just prepare a set of ideas. What should you as a project manager do if you analyze your Gantt chart and you define that there is a bottleneck task within your Gantt chart? Good. What is bottleneck? Just another example, guys. Just another example. Imagine that we have a bottle and there are stones of different size inside this bottle, and we just like shaking this bottle, trying to move all these small stones from the bottle outside. Yeah? And once we see that there is one kind of stone that's bigger than others, that stone cannot pass through this bottleneck, because bottleneck is this height part of the bottle. This big stone couldn't drop, and we couldn't ever remove this big stone from this bottle. Don't ask me how did we put it here, I don't know. Yeah, so just example, imaginary example. But this is the bottleneck. Like, imagine one more situation. There's just highway, yeah, 4 lines highway. Monday morning, somewhere near Berlin, yes, on the highway, this A1 highway that goes to Berlin. And imagine that at 6:30 there is a car crash somewhere near Berlin on this highway that like occupied with again, like bloody example. Sorry for this bloody, not so beautiful example. Anyway, with some like crushed cars, pieces of metal, dead bodies. Sorry, really sorry for saying that. But 3 traffic lines on this highway are like closed because of like the place of this car crash. So police, of course, there's emergency service, fire guards, and so on. Everybody here. But for 2 hours, here will be a huge jam. I had this example of this jam, and the jam was approximately 200 kilometers long, because thousands of people were driving to Berlin. It was a real situation actually that I'm talking now. Yes, it was just 200 kilometers long traffic jam somewhere in the entrance to Berlin. This is again the bottleneck. So bottleneck is everybody should pass. That is why there is a big jam, like a big stack of all the tasks and projects and so on. So let's come, critical points. So let me please read the comments you said. Comments. Yes, the comments you left. What is the bottleneck? So I try to explain, Erin. Not really. No, I mean, don't understand what is bottleneck. Okay, Barbara and Erin, please let me know. Is it like more clear now? Emma, critical point. Thank you very much for your comment. Bottleneck based on a task, persons. You back up people and split task to smaller work packages. Jake, thank you very much. Great. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to say, and wanted also you guys to say or to hear. So the answer, Jake's answer in a chat, is perfect. So in education delivery, we always have 2 people who are prepared well before the work package begins. We have to alliance manager, a pedagogical example, etc. Thank you very much, Jake. So you see, in short, as far as I understood, Jake, please check if I understood you correctly. If you provide the educational process and you're afraid that there is a bottleneck with kind of very experienced trainer, you should have a co-trainer who can be able to replace this trainer in a case of emergency. Like, guys, real situation. You remember that our previous sessions were made from Rabka Zdrój in Poland, in the south of Poland. And there is a situation when one of our participants had kind of infection, and this participant spent approximately half of time in the toilet, like half of all the time of half day. And if that was a trainer, it could be a problem. So again, like, maybe it was me. I don't know. You don't know. No, just one of participants. So that's it. Have a backup. Yes, Emma. To have a backup, to have a possibility to like make it faster or to split this task, to think deeper into the task. Thank you, Erin. So Erin understood it. Good. Well, just to summarize, the Gantt chart. List of tasks you need to fulfill during your project realization. All the list. If it is big list, put a big list. This list can be like 100 positions. It's okay, it's normal. The timetable of your project with specific deadline, sometimes with milestones. If you want me to understand what does it mean, the milestone, please ask me in the chat. There is kind of one more specific term from project management, the milestone. So time frame, timeline with milestones, and of course with the deadline. Each task represented as this like block. The tasks that can be fulfilled simultaneously should be also fulfilled simultaneously. Everything is made to make this, to use as little time as possible for all the project in general. According to this Gantt diagram, the tasks goes approximately this way. Do you see this kind of example? Like first task, then second task, third, number 4, number 5, and so on. Because of this picture of Gantt diagram, this type of projects usually called the waterfall model of project management. Very well known, very popular, still pretty like famous and still pretty popular. Yeah, but just in IT project management, people prefer some other models like Kanban or Agile Scrum or some other ones. They're too complicated for us, so normally all the activities we do made using this waterfall model. So on Gantt diagram, you have tasks, you have responsible people who fulfill those tasks, you have those time frames, and then you analyze how can you use the capacities of people who already done with specific task to be busy like with another task later. What those people can do after they finished their task or before they came to the moment that they should start their own task. One more analysis is to check the bottleneck, sorry. To check the bottleneck tasks here, to find those bottleneck tasks and to eliminate all possible bottlenecks, to transform bottlenecks into like normal tasks, to have a backup person, like a backup expert, to find them, him, to split this task into small subtasks, and at least some of them can be, for example, fulfilled by another people, and so on. Let me please check the chart. Milestones are those tasks that are instrumental to a project completion. In our NGO, our managers tend to have the milestones 9 days prior to the work package ends. No, sorry, Colin, not waterfall, but waterfall. When the river goes and then just falls from the higher level to the lower level, like the Iceland is full of waterfalls. Waterfall. Let me please type it in the chat. Fall. I suppose this way, like, hope there is no. Barbara, it is not strictly the risk management. Risk management is like one more tool. If we have enough time, or if many of you guys have desire, I will show you some specific details of risk management or risk planning, I would say. Risk plan, risk management plan, yeah, full name, risk management plan. But the Gantt chart is really useful, have a wide range of benefits. It allows you to see some risks, preliminary, see some risks. So technically, Barbara, it is what wasn't made for risk management. It was made to distribute the time, the task between people, to be able to recombine some tasks to other people, to redelegate some tasks, to make the project shorter, more successful, more efficient, more effective, and so on. To use less amount of resources, like time resources, human resources, and to reach big amount of results, outputs. Waterfall, yep. Gantt diagram should look like a waterfall, yes, but not always not true. Gantt diagram is not risk management. Thank you, Jake, sorry. Yes, I mean more for a bottleneck situation. Is it the risk management? Again, not fully, yeah, so we kind of just see the bottleneck task. We are not working with risk, actually. So in some way, you definitely can diagnose some specific risk. As I showed you with this example, I'm showing with my fingers this example of like a long task. Using this Gantt diagram, you can find some specific risks, like risk of bottleneck task, for example, and also evaluate some connected risks. But yeah, Gantt diagram, technically, risk management is something a little bit different, a little bit like with specific complexion and specific like complicated points. Jake writes that the Gantt diagram works when you have a fixed set of resources and a handful of tasks that can be translated into work packages. Yes, and actually that's about our projects we have. So I'm going to stop with Gantt diagram, guys, and go to the next topic. Please let me know if you have any final questions, if anything to ask, anything to propose. If not, thank you, Elsa. Good, thank you, Jake. Great. And we go to one more topic. Yes, good. Well, I will finally use the abbreviation that majority of internet sources use. What does RACI stand for? R, responsible. I, informed. C, I love this finger. C, consulted, or in some cases, consulting. A, accountable. So this matrix is one more additional tool. So we done with the Gantt chart tool. Gantt chart used for specific activities. And by the way, this tool we're going to learn now also provides some specific activities that can be provided by Gantt chart. So some people use only Gantt chart. Some people use only this RACA metrics. Some people, for big project, I recommend some people to use both of them. Again, let's imagine a table of tasks. Just table. If it's okay for you, we can use the same egg frying example. I mean, but we're talking about your project, guys. If you want me, let me know in the chat that you want to change the example project. Right now, I'm starting again with X. So we have tasks. Resource preparation. Resource operation. Quality assurance. Sorting and presentation. Good. enough. And we have some specific people. Now I would kindly ask everybody of you to remember who is responsible for that, and let me know which task should be done by which specific person. Because like I have it on this paper from another side, but I just don't remember it. So the guys who was mentioned as expert in those egg frying, could you please remind me in the chat which specific tasks are you responsible for? Or if you just remember who was responsible for what, just not about your personal task, but just let me know, remind me. As far as I remember, we had Emma, Aura, Colin, Jake. Please remind me in the chat, just type in it. Operation, Erin on the operation. So, resource operation, we have Erin, who was responsible for that. So actually the person who fulfills this task. Barbara, what was you responsible for? For salting or what? Or as a presentation, good. Where is the presentation? Let's say Aura. Again, responsible. Colleen was in QA. Colleen, good. Responsible. Emmanuel salting, good. Emma salting. Responsible. Somebody was responsible for Emmanuel quality assurance or salting. Oh yes, Jake was expert in logistics. Yes, thank you very much. So resource preparation, we have Jake, who was responsible for resource preparation. So Emmanuel salting, yes, quality assurance was Colleen was responsible. Yeah, is it correct? If something should be corrected, please let me know. It's not so important, but like just to be politically correct. Yeah, let me know if we need to correct anything. So for me, it's okay. I mean, we can use this picture, but so now we have people who specifically responsible. Now let's imagine that there is a project manager who will who is like accountable for all the project in general in front of the client. So at the end we have a client, and we have, let me choose somebody from our list. Andrew Myler, I suppose. Yes. So we have Andrew Myler, who is responsible for like not present in itself. So we have a presenter who presents the project. This is Aura, I mean Putin. But Andrew was the one who organized everything and who will like finally bring the report, the project report, and then will distribute the earned money between all the participants of the project. So we have Andrew. And he is not doing any specific task, but he is accountable for each task. Resource preparation, he is Andrew. Accountable, operation, accountable. Let's imagine we have one more thing that like Aura also accountable like in general for like resource operation, just general reporting for this task. Let me please check the Colleen, I can see clearly. So on the left are the tasks, on the top the people. Yes, on the left here are the list of tasks, and here the list of people who can do some specific tasks. R for responsible. Yes, R for responsible. I will possibly use another marker to put this R, like a kind of animal sounds like that. R. I don't remember which animal, but doesn't matter. Then, imagine that one more situation. Erin was the greatest guru of salting previously. Like, was much better. Erin was much better in salting 1 year ago than Emma now. So right now, Erin doesn't do salting at all. Erin just decided to stop salting, quit salting, you see? So, quote, quitted salting. But till now, Erin is really great in consulting how to provide salting. Dog of the seal sounds like that. Or yeah, possibly yes. Thank you very much. A seal. Oh, seals. Yeah, seals. Seals of the yeah. Oh, thank you. So good. So so coming back to our example. So Erin is the one who can consult everybody how to solve the food, because Erin knows a lot about it, much more than anybody in our group can learn during the time of project. That is why Erin will be the consultant. He will be the person who consult. Sorry. Incorrect place. Insulting. Sorry for the task salting. Erin here is a C. Yes, consult. So we have R that stands for responsible. A that stands for accountable. C that stands for consulting. I mean, in online sources you can find consulted, but I think, in my understanding, it's just my personal understanding, consulting is like better phrase. So it's the person who consults, person who shares information about this process. Personally, this person can just definitely know when another person should start his task. It's like, I'm cooking. Are you ready? Ready? I'm done in 3, 2, 1, start. Yeah, so approximately this way. Yeah, so I consulted my partner when the partner should start. Like, if you've seen ever how the great, I mean, in some good pizza places and pizza restaurants, how people do pizza, it looks like approximately the same. So a set of people, everybody do their own tasks. Somebody put like the chili, somebody put the meat, somebody put anything else. And like it's kind of conveyor. So and they do it. They really need to know when previous person finish to start his or her part of task. And that's what we do here. So consult. Let's imagine one more thing that Emma, for example, a great consultant in resource operations. So Emma was a chief cook previously, and she knows perfectly how to cut the egg and when exactly to cut the egg to have best temperature of the plate when the plate already on fire. So Emma is a consultant within the resource operation. Well, that's it. And final part, I will put I in every single cell. I. Again, I is more like seagulls, yeah? Yeah, honestly, and so on. So all the other I surround us. So, Aura, thank you very much. Aura says that I'm very funny today. So I'm enjoying it. Yes, I do. Yes, thank you very much. That's correct. So coming back, yeah. I means, I tell you, informed. So that person should be informed about this task resolution. And that person should be informed about the process. And that person should be informed about the process. And that person should be informed about that person, that process. And that person should be informed about about this process. We should inform that, and that person. Yeah. So we put those 4 letters R, I, C, A into the matrix, just to make sure that we definitely know who is responsible for what, who is consulting in what, who is like expert and can consult others, who should be informed. You see, sometimes in some specific cases, we can just leave some specific cell empty. For example, in a case that Jake shouldn't give any damn about the quality assurance process. It is not his task, and he's absolutely not like connected with this task. So nobody cares what exactly Jake knows, and so Jake shouldn't know anything. So we just like empty space. Thank you, Jake, for your comment. And last comment. Each person has technical competences to match their tasks. Are we still taking Gantt chart? This is this RACI matrix, and you see this matrix allows it doesn't never shows the timeline. This is a big difference. From one side, the RACI matrix, this matrix, never shows the timeline. We cannot understand what and which time and so on. But this matrix discovers and highlights some other possible problems. I will try to like create those problems on this chart in a second. Well, quality assurance. Let's imagine we have R here, and even R here. Problem. I mean, before looking at this chart, I mean, updated chart I just made, chart with mistakes. Let me understand that you have the vision of this chart. Yeah. So in this chart, we put the typical roles, like to be responsible or to consult, to be informed, or to be generally accountable for specific task, for specific activity. And best case when we put actually all those letters in all specific cells. It is okay, it is not a big problem to have some cells empty when some specific person just not related to specific task at all. Well, it is possible. Kalin, I will answer in a second. We start with putting the list of all possible tasks and all possible people. And we should, I mean, you guys as a project manager, you put all your teammates, people who work with you in a team. Sometimes we can say subordinates, but subordinates is for big corporations. In our work, those people are teammates. You put the names of teammates, and by the way, it's a great idea talking about the Gantt chart and talking about the RACI matrix. It's a great idea to put it on a big paper and put it on the wall of your project management room. Letting everybody see those details. I mean, discuss it and agree and see it every time they visit this room and remind anything in their heads. So you put for every task, I recommend you to have responsible person and accountable person. It is really important. For some tasks, it is really good to have consulting person, the one who consult about specific details. For general understanding of the project management, it is really good to put I everywhere. Like everybody informed about everything else. But it is not necessary. Sometimes it's just overloaded with, people can be overloaded with information. But for some tasks, people should be informed. Like, for example, person who salting the food should be informed about the time when the operation ends and quality assurance starts, because at the same time, the salting process should be started. Yeah. Please make sure you understand general vision. Why? Let me please check the chart. This is about the division of labor, IRCA matrix. Sorry, I will look it up. Good. I don't understand accountable. Now, Colin, accountable. General, not the responsibility for specific, just for me it also was complicated. So responsible is the person who comes and specifically provide any activities, the person who like precisely do his or her job to fulfill the task. So if the person doesn't do this job, task will not be fulfilled. So responsible is, in typical case, is a worker who, like for example, dig the hole in the ground to plant the tree, for example. But there is possibly another person who, for example, keep the person says, now you, Bob, you dig the hole, and you now please bring the plant. Yes, so we're planting it. In 1 minute we have a hole, so you should put the plant into the hole, and you please start going for the water. So kind of accountable person who has general responsibility for being like for fulfilling the project itself and specifically focusing on this task. Sometimes this person, a person, is kind of person who can check the quality. Now I need to add one more piece of information, guys. Be ready, be prepared. Sometimes, in some specific cases, it's really good idea if this kind of another person who are not better specific expert, but just another person comes and check the result of your job, result of your work. Because when you do, you have your vision and you can miss some mistake, you can fulfill some mistake, make mistakes and miss it. Sometimes you cannot see your mistakes. Those mistakes are really visible just to another person with same possibly and with less qualification as you have. So the person just comes and says, fuck up, correct. And you see, shit, really, fuck up. I need to correct it. I need like 3 seconds to correct, but I was stupid enough to make this mistake and I didn't see it at all. It happens. It's sometimes called the kind of peer review. So this accountable person can be just a person who comes and check. Well, it is done. Well, yeah, the job is done. So perfect. Yes, nothing today. Or something like, well, I don't think it should be done this way. Please, let's check the documentation together. And which opens the documentation with requirement, for example, in a kind of, or they call to project manager. You see, we had to book the big lorry of Strauss eggs, but we just booked the big lorry of chicken eggs. Can we use chicken eggs instead of Strauss eggs? No, but no, never. It's only Strauss. Redo it, like, sell those chicken eggs and buy Strauss eggs again. So yeah, that's how I understand the difference. So accountable person is not the one who do the task, who fulfills the task, like do the job. But accountable person is a person who like generally will be responsible for fulfilling this piece of job. Good. Let me please check the chat now. Is this like risk maturity metrics? I can't find the term. Well, I cannot fully agree again that this is about risk. Yes, this is there is one more word, very well-known word, responsibility assignment metrics. I will put it below. Oh, I put it here. It's a bad marker. I will type it into the chat. Let me please type it into the chat. Just one more name for this matrix is RAM. Responsibility assignment matrix. Done. I put it into the chat. Let me check the chat again. Kind of the backup, Colin asks, in case of something goes wrong or off for double checking. Colin, very close, but again, accountable person is not the one who will like correct the mistake. It's not the one who like can do this task. Not necessarily can do. It's kind of the person who generally responsible for making sure the task is complete. That's it. So that person can come and says, it is not complete yet. You see here, I'm not sure it is in accordance to the requirements, so please do it again. And responsible person like do it again. Somebody to see the big picture. Yes, it is correct. Eggs are huge. One egg can feed 12 small people. Yes, thank you, Jake. What is it called? Responsibility assignment metrics. Yes. Peer review for backup the result of each task. Yes, kind of. Responsibility assignment matrix. It was my comment. Thanks. So like a manager, Colin, yes, that person can be the manager. So usually if we have some specific manager, actually that's what I put, yeah, Andrew, one of us right now, the person who attached to our call, that person, I put this person as mostly like accountable person, put A into different roles, like cells. Good. Let's now check the mistake. Please make sure you understand. Jake, oh, I see. This allows you to get a view who has responsibility. Yes. And now let's have a look at the mistake I wrote. You see, we have a task. The quality assurance. I mean, when everybody just stays around the hot plate with the eggs and just check, is it ready or not? And the error is we have responsible person here, one more responsible person for the same task, and one more responsible person for the same task. So we have Erin, Colleen, and Andrew, who are responsible for checking the quality. And what do we see here? Those people can start swearing with one another. Like one person say, because everybody is responsible. One person say, it is ready, we should like go to next phase. And I said, no, it is too soft, let's wait for 2 more minutes. And so I said, not 2, but only 1 more minute, because in 1 more minute it will be too hard and impossible and not so tasty. And yeah, 3 responsible people for one task. Please put big double plus into the chat if you had ever in your background seen the situation when like there were more than one person who is responsible for one single task and they have no agreement about how this task should be complete, so they start like to everybody want to do it in a good way, but everybody has his or her own good way of completing this task. Just any example, doesn't matter, no details, just if you have met such situations, okay? This reduce, let me please also check the previews. This reduce micromanagement, say Jake. Yes, agree. You need detailed documentation and rules. Jake, yes, you need, or you need the person who sees the general picture and all other people who can improvise and also understand the general picture. So, well, it is not so bureaucratic, but it's, of course, it makes more bureaucracy in the project, but it also makes more clear vision in the project. Yeah. So there are always like dark and light sides of the medal of anything. Yes. Cyprus micromanagement, yeah, so it happens. So maybe in Cyprus, not only so in different cases. Look, I don't think it depends on the country, but maybe some specific details of cultural issues make it more common and more visible in some specific like cultural places or regions. Good. So this is RACI matrix. So technically that's it, yeah. So there are some other typical problems in this matrix, but guys, we already like talking for how much, for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and we have only 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes left. So Jake shares, no, I worked in a hotel and I had 6 managers, that was totally confusing. Yep, see your point. Yeah, great. So those managers were accountable for giving. Am I understand correctly, Jake, that those 6 different managers felt responsible for giving you the orders what to do and check the results? That is why sometimes they gave you some different controversial orders. Is it correct? So, thank you. You're welcome to put your comments and of course questions. I'm going to finish talking about this matrix, just to summarize. Why and when do we need this matrix? When you have a big project with many people involved, with specific tasks that could be fulfilled only by specific people. Why? Because it can be not so clear for everybody what is his or her responsibility, specific responsibility connected to some specific task. Again, typical situation in project management. In Erasmus Plus project management. During the meeting, you say, so guys, we go to our venue and right now at the beginning we provide a beautiful beautiful ice-breaking game when we cut those colorful magazines with pictures and cut some pictures and we explain, keeping those pictures in our hands, we explain our feelings or something like that. Understandable? Understandable. Who will provide this task? Me. Okay, you will provide this task. Good. Everybody clear? Everybody clear. Let's go. the project started, they come to the venue, so that person who will provide this task comes and asks, where are my magazines with colorful pictures? And everybody says, I don't know. It was you who was responsible for bringing magazines. And they said, no, 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 no. I was responsible for providing, for fulfilling this task. So I came here to take the magazine somebody prepared and use this magazine for this task. Whoa! Right now we need to Google to find another activity to replace that one with another one. Yeah, so not a big problem, but some kind of frustration, some kind of nervosity, some kind of stress can be produced. And you guys, believe me, during the project implementation, you don't need more stress. Never. As not less. What is the correct word? As few, not few, as little stress as possible. Possibly little is the correct word. Good, yeah. So, see, in this case, I brought you, in this example, they found the responsible person who agreed to provide this activity, but those people haven't found the responsible person for organizing the logistic of this activity, who should find those magazines, bring those magazines, or carry those magazines, and give those magazines right into the hand of the activity provider. That's it. We have an answer from Jake. No, they were stealing money from the hotel management, and the top manager was involved with the local criminal gangs. I am not kidding. Oh my God, Jake. Okay, so I hope this is not about this metric, because if people steal money using this metrics, it's kind of like big problem for the government in general and for the society. Coming back to the usage. In this metrics, you can check if there. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for your comment. In this metrics, you can check one more mistake. Yeah? I have this explained. When there are no responsible person, the person who will concretely fulfill, do his or her job to fulfill this task. Like in this case, if there is no art, only accountable people, consulting people, informed people, no one who will do this task. And why is this matrix so interesting and so good? When there are people who should be informed, people who are consulting, they can diagnose the problem that there is no responsible person in advance. Like the person who is accountable, he just reminds, okay, we have this task, I'm accountable, I should ask the guy who should be responsible. Hey, who is responsible for this? What? We have no responsible? Come on, everybody here, we have an urgent meeting, we have to find a responsible person for one more task. And they find this responsible person. So, no problem. Problem was resolved before it became a problem. That's it. That was about our ICA metrics. Good. So we have a link with a good image. Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, so guys, you can easily Google the Gantt chart or Gantt diagram. You can easily Google this RACA metrics and SWOT analysis, of course, too. Well, what should we do now? The SWOT analysis or the business model canvas? Unfortunately, we have no time for both tasks, so please make your choice. SWOT analysis is more well known, but there is one additional level of SWOT analysis that's really important for some people. Some people forget. And yeah, business model canvas are much more complicated. But there is a problem. Business model canvas normally take me 2 hours when I work with groups just to explain. And we have just half an hour to learn it. So this will possibly be too theoretical, and I cannot let you fully understand all specific pieces of this business model canvas. So I'm not sure we have enough time. For Jake, new for you, please vote so we can start with business model canvas and continue it next time, for example. Let's make 1 more minute for voting. So guys, if you think SWOT analysis or business model canvas or business project, I will call it project model canvas. And we have 1 minute for voting for this or that. Do we have the results of voting? Let me check. 1 minute passed. Ah, yes. Business model canvas, no opinion. Sorry, can you please repeat the question? Maria, the question is, what should be focused right now on SWOT or SWOT analysis or on the project model canvas? We don't have enough time, SWOT is better. You see, guys, yeah, I also will vote for SWOT, so good. So yeah, let's take SWOT. So almost everybody knows what does it mean. Let me please take one more piece of paper, maybe the same. SWOT analysis goes about your idea. Please, right now, everybody of you, imagine your own idea of your project. You can take absolutely real project idea, but this is better to take the idea you didn't realize yet. I mean, the idea that you didn't start to fulfill yet. And I recommend everybody of you to take a piece of paper to be able to make some notes. SWOT or SWOT. S stands for strengths. Strengths, like strong points, strong details, strong features of your idea. Please, everybody of you, I expect you already have chosen the project to think about. It can be a very easy project. Like I'm thinking about the project of going for barbecue to the forest with my friends tomorrow. I will not go, it's just imaginary project, of course. But this will be my trip. Please, everybody of you, choose your own project. W for weaknesses, like weak points. Weak points, yeah? So please let me know if it is not clear enough. Or opportunities. Opportunities, some kind of positive possible occasions, sometimes possible expected or unexpected lucky situations that can benefit to your project. T for threats, negative possible occasions, possible negative impacts that aren't really like, not everybody sure will take place, but if they will definitely like bad for the project, like non-beneficial, like vice versa. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Okay. And now, please, everybody of you, think about at least one. Before we start, stop. Before we start, this site is something that is within the idea of your project and your project team. What does it mean? Imagine that your project, I mean, my project with like barbecue tomorrow is kind of project of me and two of my friends, like 3 people together. And we have some strengths and some weaknesses. Strength is something like positive sides of our team or positive sides of our resource pool, for example, we have a car. This is our resource. We already occasionally, like, unexpectedly have a meat for barbecue. Like, this is our resource. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Thank you very much, Joe. And there are some kind of details from Joe, or theoretical details from Joe. You can check in chat. Thank you so much. Saying going out to nature of the forest can include a nature walk. Yep, good. But it's something that already we know about. Weaknesses is again something negative that we already know about, we're already informed. So it's kind of inside. And opportunity threat is something that can happen. Something we don't need, but we predict. Something we anticipate somehow. I will put here like outside or can happen. Outside or can happen. And of course, strengths and opportunities are positive. And weaknesses and threats are negative. So we have positive things that we already know that will definitely happen. Negative things that we already know about that will definitely happen. We have positive things that can happen with us that we like we're not sure about it, but it like we can predict somehow. And the same about negative, some kind of threats. We have kind of, please let me know if you clearly understand it. Of strengths of the team, of strengths of the project. Well, in my understanding, both. I mean, in my understanding of this picture, of this SWOT analysis, you think about general, like strengths that in general you, your team, your project idea has. For example, the strength is, this is unique, never happened before. This is good for startup projects, for example, like when this is unique. Or vice versa. It was already done for many times, so our people are really great experts in doing that. This goes very good for example, any educational process. Sometimes, yeah, actually, it's better to have education provided by skilled persons than non-skilled persons. But of course, there are some possible details, might be. Yeah. So it is about your project idea and about your team too. So please, everybody, think about at least one strength point, weak point of your project idea together with your team, with your resources. Better, of course, to put more than one, and please put it onto your paper. And think about possible opportunities and threats. While you're doing that, I will bring you the example of our barbecue party. We have already these strengths that we have a car, and we have the meat, and we have our people. But we have some weak points that one of our people feel sick already now. One more weak point. We know that the road to the place, we like know very good place, but the road to this place is dirty. Okay? Please make sure it is clear enough for you, and even more important, please make sure you can generate the same items, list items for every of those like cells in this grid about your project. So we have meat, we have place, we know the place, we have a car. One of us is sick, they're usually really dirty on the way, weaknesses. Let's think about the opportunities. What can happen with my barbecue idea? Wow, we possibly can invite like 2 more very great friends with they like how do they call it? All-terrain car, I mean, it's like, you know, all-terrain car, like with big wheels, with very powerful engine, with different additional tools like to survive, like survival car. So possible opportunity plus two friends. If they will come, then possibly we can even get the plane or helicopter. Yeah, just let's imagine that this is possible for my project of barbecue project. And possible threats. Tomorrow there can be the tornado. We don't know, but we heard something from the news that, well, like last time, this time of year, in this region, the tornado can happen. And usually the situation before tornado looks like, I mean, the situation day before tornado looks like today. So tomorrow, there's small probability of tornado. Then, maybe rain. Maybe our sick friend can really get more sick and stay at home. One more threat. Maybe our sick friend got the coronavirus, and tomorrow everybody of us need to go to hospital to spend next 2 months with this like artificial breathing machine. Sorry again for those examples. But yes, COVID. I'm done with my example. Before we go to very important phase of SWOT analysis, next one, very important phase I wanted to show you. Please make sure that you have your example with at least one position, one item in every like cell of this list, of this grid. Please ask questions if you need, or like comment, just put any kind of single plus into the chat in the case if you're done with your SWOT analysis and there are like 3 to 5 items in it, so you can start working on it. Hello. Guys, unfortunately, I don't see your comments now, so please comment at least anything to make sure that you still hear me and I'm still alive. And my world is still real. This is not the dream. Yeah, thank you very much. Good. Yes, I see your answers. Thank you. That's great. So now, final, I mean, kind of final, not final, but very important phase of this analysis. So yeah, before I explain this very important phase, I can also tell you what to do with the project. So I recommend to do the SWOT analysis with your project for several times. First time when you just have the idea, the vision, like invite your friends, the friends you want to include into the project team, and all together think about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And of course, then provide the second phase. Second phase, I will present you the second phase in 1 or 2 minutes. So having this SWOT analysis of your idea, you're welcome to start working. And please, when you think that you have clear vision of all your project, I highly recommend you to provide one more session of SWOT analysis with possible bigger team, with everybody who is involved, with all new information. I mean, imagine that you spend 2 months preparing the project, like learning the prices, writing the application, this project application, and so on. So I recommend to provide one more SWOT analysis. It can take hours. Be ready. It can take hours, but it's really worth doing at least one time, but 2 times even better. We have a comment from Elsa. I will have to leave, unfortunately, and watch the rest. Thank you for it. Great, thank you, Elsa. You're welcome to watch the video later on. Thank you for being with us. So, several times, right? 1, 2 times. After feeling all those, please try to find all possible strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your project. And finally, let's go to this second phase. This second phase, I promised you, yeah, the second phase. So, we usually start with negative sides. look at very first item in the very first negative cell of the grid, sick person, and find on your SWOT analysis anything that can neglect, that can mitigate, that can eliminate the negative impact of this first negative item. We have sick, and I have no answer. It's already complicated thing. Let's imagine that we start vice versa. Like we started with dirt. Imagine that we started with dirt. It was like a first. Okay, the road there is really dirty. What can we do with that? We have a car, but this car is like very small, like this smart car. I mean, you know, smart for city. It will just dive in the first pool of water on the dirty road. So it is not the solution. But in the opportunities, we have this possibility of two friends with the all-terrain car, and even the opportunity to get the helicopter to get from this point to our location, beautiful location. If we get the helicopter, you're absolutely welcome to take the line, I mean to highlight the helicopter and to make the line to dirt. Like if we have the helicopter, the dirt is not a problem no more. So it is solved. One possible opportunity can resolve the weakness we have. But we still have a problem because helicopter is not 100%, we're not 100% sure we have a helicopter tomorrow. We need to make sure, so let's put a big tick mark here. I will put a big tick mark, we'll come to the tick mark in 5 minutes. And then you take another one, sick. One of us is sick. What can we do? Okay, the friend says, I have really great pills. I will give those pills to you right now. I'm sure tomorrow you will feel like pickle Rick, like absolutely energetic, full of energy, like pickle Rick. So we add one more strand, pills. We didn't think about it before, but now we recognize that, oh, we have pills that it can eliminate this problem of sick person right now. But we understand that this is not a full solution because you see there are two other options here. We will come to those options. But let's try. Tornado. What can we do with tornado tomorrow? And another of our friends of our team says, I have an idea. I have just yesterday created the teleportation machine that teleport us to any location in the world. And in a case, if we have tomorrow the tornado in this region, we all just teleport to, let's say, Famagusta region in Cyprus. Very empty space, no people. Of course, it is prohibited to spend time there. Like it is kind of this demilitarized, abandoned area where people shouldn't appear at all, controlled by United Nations. So I have a teleport to Famagusta region to spend time in Cyprus on Famagusta bank of the Mediterranean Sea. Good. So we put into strength teleportation machine. So in any case, if we have the tornado will be eliminated with the teleporting to Famagusta region. And we check the forecast for Cyprus and we see that in Famagusta region, tomorrow the weather is absolutely perfect, for example. Good. Then, rain. Rain. I just recalled that I have a really good kind of temporary roof from waterproof fabric that can be installed in 10 minutes and can protect the barbecue in the area of 5 to 5 meters around. So I say, I have a roof. Or I can say, shit, I have no roof. But we can buy a roof right tomorrow. I know where those roofs can be bought. So in a case, if you see the rainy weather tomorrow morning, before leaving to the barbecue place, we go to this tourist equipment shop, tourist equipment store, and we will buy this temporary fabric roof to protect us from the rain, at least during the barbecue party. Okay, so we will have it as a plan. Tornado, rain, and now two very important options: sick and COVID. What can we do with that? Guys, do you have any idea about being sick and having COVID? How can we right now work with this possible threat of our future project? Give me your ideas in the chat. Please type your ideas in the chat right now. Just to remind you, we are running through all possible negative impacts, and we already eliminated or find the plans to eliminate some possible negative impacts like tornado and rain, but we still don't know how to eliminate the negative impact if one of our friends is totally sick tomorrow, and one more level if our friend has a coronavirus tomorrow. We understand that the person has coronavirus tomorrow. What can we do right now, right today, to eliminate the impact of this threat to our tomorrow project? Give me please your answers in the chat. Please type it. Testing before the project, Marks and Terrace February, we're having an online barbecue. We have having the barbecue online, or we postpone the event. Guys, yes, so I thought about the idea to go, during this process, go and buy the COVID tests right now, the most expensive, the best, and check our friend on the question if he has those COVID immune cells in his blood. So we can provide the test. Right now we put the COVID test. We buy the COVID test right today, we check this guy, and we definitely know that like today he has no COVID immune cells in his blood. So we're happy at least like we eliminated this threat right now. Or we see that shit, he has a COVID, so everybody of us should go to hospital like in 5 minutes. Yeah, taxi, no taxi. My car, taxi is too dangerous. Good. So eliminate. Negative COVID. So well, technically that's it. Main idea of second phase, it's not the last phase, but we will not do the last. Okay, we have started to provide the third phase. First phase, generate your full possible list of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Second phase, run through all specific items of both lists. You see, I run only through the negative side of the list, but technically we should run through all of those items and compare every item with every other item on this list, on this SWOT analysis, especially with negative. We need to make sure that every single item of this negative half connected and eliminated and somehow neglected by any other activity or any other strengths or any other opportunities. If it is only opportunity, remember I put this tick mark here, like we can get a helicopter or we cannot, we don't know. We possibly can get no helicopter tomorrow, we don't know. So we can take a phone of this guy with helicopter and ask him right now, hello, what is the name of this guy? Let's say, Brad Pitt. Hello, Brad. Hello, Brad Pitt. Yeah, I have a question. Could you please join our barbecue tomorrow and borrow us your helicopter? Movie. But maybe we have a great company. We have Pamela Anderson with us. Yes. You see, I know that Pamela Anderson can reconvince you. So cancel tomorrow film and day and come with helicopter to us. We with Pamela Anderson with me. So you have agreement, like you move this helicopter from opportunity to strength. So now you have the full scale, 100% agreement that you have the helicopter and Brad Pitt as one of your company tomorrow with you. Just an example. What do you have in the chat? Let me please check. Send the sick person. Okay. She's a little too old for Brad Pitt. Yes, okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry for such examples. I just choose the first possible names in my head. Sorry, I'm an old school guy. Yes, I'm old, so I remember all those retired celebrities. Sorry for that. Yeah, possibly we have some not so. Anyway, do you see how it works? We find all weaknesses and we should either find anything that we already have in our list, or we should generate the ideas how to eliminate those threats and weaknesses. We can build a plan. So you see, we need to call to Brad Pitt, we need to buy the COVID test, we need to use the pills right now, we need to make sure that the teleport machine will be in order, will work tomorrow morning to like provide us with a backup plan. And third phase, we should immediately start to realize all possible backup plans. I mean, as early as possible, we need to make sure we have the answers addressed to some specific threats or weaknesses. First, build a list of strengths, opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Second, compare every negative item in this list with all positive and make sure you have the answer, you have the reply on this negative, you have the plan for this negative opportunity or threat or weakness, either among your strengths or among your opportunities, or generate additional action plan in your project plan. So you need to possibly to provide any specific activity later. Maybe right now there is no COVID tests for sale in the country, but in 1 month there will be COVID tests for sale in the country. So in 1 month you can buy those COVID tests. So you cannot realize your project today. You cannot realize the project this month, but in a month you can. So possibly the best idea for you to avoid some specific, in this list, you see, some specific threats in this list. To avoid those specific these threats, you need to postpone your project for 1 month. That's overall it, guys. That was the thing I wanted to share about the SWOT analysis. So 3 levels: generate the list, compare all negative with everybody else, and build a plan. How would you eliminate negative items in your SWOT analysis, like in nearest future, really like soon? That's what I wanted to share, not just building this list, because majority of books about SWOT analysis are just building of this list. And, okay, I built, and what? But we need to work with that. We need to change something in our behavior to make it really useful. Dear friends, I'm done for today. Surprisingly, I got in time, like I fit in time to finish before, like having like 4 minutes for sharing your opinions. Please share your opinions. How was it today? How informative? How like enjoying, like funny, and so on? What exactly was most useful for you? Thank you very much, Jake. Jake says excellent. Very interesting. Thank you, Agata. Also, please make sure and tell me, let me know, have you found anything new specifically for you? Because like I expect that Jake, for example, Jake is really qualified and possibly overqualified for this training course. And I'm really curious, have Jake found anything like new for you? Please answer. We would like to do in a canvas. No, Jake haven't found anything like new. Okay, that's enough for me. Aura, it was a very interesting session, a lot of new information, very funny presentation. Thank you very much, Aura. I love you. Jake, why do you say, I don't think nobody is idiot? Okay, you say you learned a lot. Okay, good. So I don't think so. I don't think anybody is idiot, but I'm really happy that I was able to let you learn anything, because yeah, not only Jake, maybe some other people didn't participate, because we have 11, 10 people in our call right now, but as far as I remember, mostly like 5 to 6 of them typing, other people just calmly possibly sitting and listening, or maybe even not listening. I don't know. It's not my business, actually. It's your business, guys. It's okay, absolutely, for me. But I'm really happy that anybody of you, like in this case, everybody of you have found something interesting, something new, something useful for you in this session. Erin shared, that was great, really enjoyable, very informative and new to me, and I enjoyed being an expert on X. Thank you, Erin. And Aura, I didn't know about Gantt chart, not RACI matrix. I have used the SWOT, but only the first phase. So totally great job, Alexei. We love you too. Thank you. Barbara, good. 3 phases of SWOT were helpful, more organized now, and I also did not know the RACI matrix. Thanks for today, says Colleen. I didn't know about the second Gantt and RACI. I enjoyed that you invested us in the example, but I believe the first 2 could be explained a bit more shortly. Agree. I already knew about the SWOT. Your enthusiasm is super nice. Well, yep. Me too. RACI is very useful. Thank you very much, guys. So we are done for today. We're done with the session. Thank you everybody who watched us in the recording on the YouTube channel. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Put the bell, press this bell icon, and of course, put a like on this video, and you're welcome to run through my channel and put like to every video of our sessions. It will be really great for me. I have about 25 followers on my channel. My channel is really small so far. So you're welcome to also invite more people, like share my videos. Maybe somebody else can like it too. I think it's okay since this course is free and this course is for everybody, so everybody can use it. Well, that's it. Let's finish for today. Have a great end of the week. Have a great time. Anyway, by the way, I'm providing this session today from Belarus, from my native country. Yes, I'm spending time here working with some presidential candidates. Good. Love you all. I'm closing the session in few minutes, in few seconds, I would say. See you next time. Bye.